everybody, Naughty Nana Des. Thought I would do some front porch sitting. It's too hot to go out in the sun today. With the humidex, it's over 100 here. Just saying. Way up in northern Canada, it's 100 degrees. And it's hot and sticky, let me tell you. Okay, what I want to go on about, I see a bunch of these Trump rallies and stuff like that. And they said, do you believe in democracy? And oh no, we have a republic. We don't have a democracy, we have a republic. Okay, I did some digging. This is what I found out. The difference between a republic and a democracy. As far back as the American Revolution, the two terms were used interchangeably. They both meant that the power to govern is held by the people rather than a monarch. So, break it down. Democracy comes from the Greek root word meaning rule by the people. A republic comes from the Latin root meaning rule for the public good or public affair. Both mean almost exactly the same thing. In ancient Rome, it meant simply the state or country, referring to the representatives in a democratic Roman republic. And hence, the elected representatives in Congress today are an example of this kind of government. So, in the Declaration of Independence, it says clearly that governments should be established deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed, which means they are elected. They are put in power by the people that put their little X on the ballot. Same thing in a republic. So they can just, as far as that stuff goes. There's a democracy in a republic as well, so they can just frig off. So anyway, the next thing I want to talk about is today. Today is Juneteenth. And I did some digging into Juneteenth for my own personal knowledge. So anyway, can you see Viv there over my shoulder? She's just sitting there looking out because there's a good breeze blowing there. We don't have air conditioning, so anyway, happy Juneteenth. It also falls under the names of, when it first came out, Jubilee Day, Emancipation Day, and Black Independence Day. Many names. But Juneteenth is what I'll go by today. So Juneteenth, National Independence Day. Major General Gordon Granger ordered the final enforcement of the Emancipation Proclamation in Texas at the end of the Civil War, June 19, 1865. However, this only applied to former Confederate states. They remained enslaved in states that never seceded from the Union and did not become freed men until the ratification of the 13th Amendment. Interesting. 13th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution on December 6th, 1865. So still, this was 2.5 years after Lincoln's Emancipation Proclamation, and he freed the slaves. When General Granger delivered the order, there were over 250,000 people enslaved in Texas. 250,000. Their owners had not notified them. Wait till you find out why. And took so long because the Union Army was not in control of Texas. Just like the people in Texas, Democratic people, are not in control of Texas. And by the way things are going, hope all red gets in there, just saying. But anyway, back to this. And the other half of that coin being the sole purpose that they withheld the information was to keep the slaveholders, to keep their benefits and economic rewards that they received for keeping slave labor. Yeah. So some purposely waited to tell the enslaved people until after the harvesting was done. So just shortly before December 6th. Although eventually freed black people in Texas and other states, they still had, although freed, they had no other rights. They had no voting rights. They were subjected to violence and death, discrimination, and severe poverty. They wouldn't give them a helping hand at all. And then it got worse when it got changed over to the slave owners became employers and the enslaved people became employees. That didn't go over too well. But anyway, on June 17th, 2021, President Joe Biden signed into law a bill that was passed by Congress on June 19th, that June 19th would be a federal holiday. He said, I hope this is the beginning of a change in the way we deal with one another. He had no idea what was coming down just a few years later. There were 14 Republicans, many representing states that were part of slaveholding confederacies. They opposed the measure, 14. So let's remember today the sacrifices that enslaved people were made to endure. Let's remember that and how far they've come, especially in this day and age. Let's remember their sacrifices, because there were many. There were many. They think there's somebody at the back door, but there's no steps to the door, so tush pa. So anyway, yeah, let's rejoice in the gains, but let's face it, people, freedom isn't free. And just watching the way the Republicans are going on, it's really easy to slip on back. And that's what they're trying to do, go back to the turn of the century, when only those rich white people had rights. Let's not go back to that. Let's rejoice June 19th, and let's hope it goes on for centuries to come. My love from Canada to all the black people in the United States. My heart's with you. Congratulations. Take care of y'all. I love you. Give us a like. Hope you enjoyed the video. And don't forget to subscribe. I love you so much. Bye-bye. Take care of you first.